Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to share my top 5 lyrical singles from the new Lyrical Monasterio set. The second one, the one that people are saying is underpowered, and let's be honest, it is underpowered, but I still think there are some very niche cards that you can kind of splash in some premium Bermuda stuff in your overdressed lyrical decks and really kind of make the decks feel more well-rounded. Yeah, let's get into it. So in the 5th spot, we have Beware of Overeating Eileen. You'll see this in like stuff like Kyrie, maybe the powerful line. You could throw this into the friendship line, and you can also throw this into the ballistic ride. Clarissa tends to not have the space, and of course Felty Rosa prefers to have Ghost in the deck, so those two archetypes you're really not going to see. Maybe this has a space in Celestial, I don't know, because the Black Wings build is also kind of spicy right now, so we'll kind of see what happens with that on the global side. But in general, I do think that this is quite splashable. Even if we get more ride lines or more like alternate pieces to the ride line, it's just so nice just being able to check the top card and choosing where to put it, whether you want it on top or bottom. This can help you find that last critty for game, or maybe it can help you find that persona right for Kyrie so you don't lose the game. Amazing card, but if you guys have checked the TCG prices, I don't think this warrants $15, but that's pre-release for you. What are you gonna do? Next, I felt like it was cheating if I put all 3 of the effect triggers in different slots, so we put them all in one. Of course, we have the crit trigger, the front trigger, and the draw trigger. So for those who are unfamiliar with these, the draw trigger is a 10k shield when your opponent's on grade 3. The front trigger is a 20k shield rather than a 15k shield when your opponent's at grade 3. And the crit you can put into soul and give something on board 2k, which sometimes comes up. What I will say is I feel like the front and the draw for this set feel way more impactful than the crit. There are decks where this is actually quite relevant, where like if you are a masochist and is still playing Ballista, I think that this crit works really well in the deck, as you don't really need the soul, but that extra 2k helps you hit that next number bracket for guarding numbers, and typically that's where you're going to see this be used the most. It's also really good in decks like Felty, who frankly just need a lot of soul, and you know the crit's there to save you. I think the front's really nice for the decks like Clarissa and Ballista, who like to have the fronts over the draws, or even in Kyrie grade 4, because you reset your front row before you do your drive checks, so you get a very spicy front trigger. Your front trigger will always hit 3 units, so that's really nice. In general, it's also 20k shield, which is really good. And of course, this draw, really impactful in Laurel, the Cat Girl deck. Kyrie, basically anything that wants to play a draw trigger, you're probably going to play this first before you start throwing in those extra attacks. It's just, don't sleep on the 10k draw, it's really good. Yeah, I think they're pretty self-explanatory. Next, I know, not generic, we have grade 4 Kyrie. I really feel like this is probably the most impactful, like, support focused card in the set. I mean, there's like the friendship line is fairly generic, and you can take a couple of the cards and splash them into decks as kind of like this friendship core. But in general, the grade 4 Kyrie just really changes the game for the deck. Before, you were running a lot of draws, you were running orders, basically anything that wasn't shield value, just trying, or high shield value, trying to dig into these grade 4s. Now you have the safety blanket of your 3 persona rides plus the 4 copies of the grade 4, so you almost never whiff. It rarely happens. I really like Kyrie this set. She only loses to disruption, so like the Gravidio worlds, the Bob Sargas, if you have those at your locals or in your local area. Other than that, it's still pretty good. I really like this deck. I think it's really strong. Don't sleep on it. Yeah, Kyrie's cracked. In the number 2 spot, we have Sweet. So Highlander, any Highlander appreciators? If you are, let me know in the comments below. Especially with the new what's it called? The new reindeer build with that new hashtag adapt plus ratio stride. I think that this works really well in that, as you're starting to see with the people focusing on the reindeer build a lot in testing for the new stride. You're not really playing the Highlander package, and things like this is just going to help you hit your coup tire. So in preview, this card is cracked. In overdress though, against decks that lose to a heavy board removal matchups, like certain Kyrie builds could even tech this in there. I personally am not teching this at the moment, but it's an amazing card, and there's a reason why it's a triple rare. Probably the best non-trigger, non-unit in the set. There's not many to pick from, but this just really stands out. More than anything, Highlander players will be rejoicing to get their SP copies of this. Nothing more, nothing less. And of course, in my number one spot, we have Hopping Stellar Melty. This is hands down my favorite card from the set. Not because of the art, I just think that this skill is cracked. You know, you call it to board, you CB1, and then you just call another card, and then you draw and replace it. It's gonna help you dig. Combined with the earlier grade 1 tech in the 5th spot, it makes for really spicy turns, really good in Kyrie, any deck that likes playing grade 2s. Only thing I can see this not being great in is something like Earns Correct, because, well, Earns Correct is very xenophobic. They only want the top idols, the strongest 5 idols, and that's about it. You only really have about 3 flex spots in the deck, but outside of that, I think this has a lot of room to be kind of thrown into other builds. I think this card is cracked. There's a reason why this is the most expensive card on pre-release. If you guys know, then you know. Number one card. Love this card. I play this almost everything I can. Also, the cost to make something in front is way easier than the cost to make to put stuff in Harmony. So I really like how they handled the friend keyword this time for Overdress rather than the Harmony one. The Harmony one is okay, and I think that it allows you to play more. You can make the skills more busted with Harmony because it requires the unit with Harmony and its skill to be on board first. But with Friendship, they just got to be in the same column. Yeah, I think the friend package is really splashable. POV. Anyways, that's the video today, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Support your boy. We're almost at 200 subscribers, and that's kind of exciting. Anyways, take care of yourself, and peace out.